Mhm. Hello, hello, and welcome to another incredible presentation put on by the lobby. I'm so excited to be here with you today. If you registered this event, hopefully you are getting that notification now. And if you are with me, say hello in the comments. I want to see who's here, where you're coming in from, so we can see which lobby chapter you are closest to. So I'll give everybody a few minutes here to sort of file in and get ready to talk about how we can stop using ChatGPT and greatly increase the impact of our resume and how it happens to get us better jobs and in short order. So say hi if you can, jump in, let me know where you're coming from. I'm going to continue to refresh the LinkedIn event until I can get to these comments and see who is with us. So say hello. And if you know somebody who should be here today and you're thinking, my goodness, they really do need to chat through, maybe not completely relying on AI because just things aren't clicking for them, tag them in. Let's get some more people in here and see if we can get a great conversation going. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes as we get in. Hi there all. And make sure to follow the lobby network. I'm going to pop the let's see, the handle in the comments here, as well as my own. So feel free to follow me as well. And the lobby network. Okay, let's see if that goes in the chat here. Boom. Okay, I see some action. I see some action happening. Hello, welcome. Let me know if you're here and if you can hear me. Okay, not seeing anybody yet. See, I'm thinking this is a technical thing. It says starting soon. Let's see, who is with me today? Let me know if you can hear me. And if you are here, head over to the event on another page as well to make sure things are clicking as they should be. Okay, here's something. Maybe that's me. Yep. Okay. All right. Wait, maybe we're heading to another spot. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. Drop a note, drop your name, tag a friend. Let's get some people in here. We're going to be talking a little bit about how you can get much greater results with your resume and land those jobs that you really care about by simply not relying on AI in the ways that some of us are being coached to do online. So add your name, make sure you say hello. I'm going to wait to begin until I make sure that we are able to get into this room. I know sometimes tech is what it is, and so let's not be shy. Put your name in the comments here, and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Let's see. I see 3 people here. Hello, I see 3 people. I feel like that may be me, and me. Let's see. All right, Kendi's got a new link for us in the chat. Thank you so much, Kendi. Hi all. Great to see you. Oh, great, Franklin Fitzgerald. Thank you so much. So everybody can hear me okay? Let me know if that is possible. If you are hearing me come through loud and clear, we will get this party started. But it's a real pleasure to be with you guys today. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to challenge you a little bit in your job search because if you haven't met me yet, I'm Claire Davis, and I'm the CEO of Traction Resume. We are the #1 medical sales career consulting agency, as well as resume agency in the world. Look us up online. You'll find us on ChatGPT 2 itself. But there's something that my clients and many people that I chat with are simply running into over and over again, and that's what I want to help you to avoid today, and it is overly using ChatGPT on your resume. So if you are a VP, a director, a hiring manager, a first line leader, let me know in the comments. If you are a VP, a director, a first line leader, put one in the comments, because I want to know if you have been seeing a lot more of the resumes coming across your desk for your teams sounding kind of like everybody else. So if that is you, put one in the comments. If you are in the hiring seat, I really want to hear from you if you are also seeing ChatGPT resumes and what it feels like to you when you are receiving them. So Jeremy, great to see you. Franklin, I'm so glad you're here. Let's kick it off. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to talk a little bit about something I like to call the Beat AI strategy. So I'm going to introduce this to you today. We have a lot to get through, so hang tight, grab a pen. You may want a double shot of espresso for this one. It's going to be a lot, and it's going to help you a ton. So please feel free to screenshot. You can take notes, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to present here. Let me know you can see this presentation as well. Another way we might do this is I can present full screen. Let's do that. Okay. Let's go here. Let me know if you can see my screen. It should say stop using ChatGPT on your resume as the main title. Let me know if that is coming up for you guys. And then if so, Kendi, good to see you popping in here too. We'll see if we can't whip some of this stuff into shape. Okay, let's see. All right. I'm seeing it. Is everybody with me on stop using ChatGPT on your resume? Aha, okay, here we go. Golly, this has taken me back a little bit. I don't know if anybody here remembers, but we used to host a show each week called The Power Hour. And I think things may have changed a little bit, so thank you so much for hanging with me. But today what I really want to talk with you about is why we're going to stop using ChatGPT specifically for your job search as a primary strategy. So I'm glad you're here, but here's the thing. I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm not coming down on you for using anything like an AI support tool. The truth is that we are in a wonderful age of incredible technology, and we've got a ton of research at our fingertips. So what can happen is that we can rely on it a little too much, and that's when it gets in the way of us really connecting with the hiring managers that want to hire us. So again, if you are a hiring manager, add a 1 in the comments. I want people to be able to see you and understand what you're dealing with when you're seeing these ChatGPT resumes. So first, when we are considering today's market, I'm sure that it's not surprising to you guys, and it may feel a little bit countercultural, but what I'm going to share today is based on real psychology, an MIT recent study, and also the client results that I have seen over and over again. Today, you must know that there is so much talent on the market. And what we have sort of been fed over time, at least in the last 2 years, is that we can just pair the job description with our experience and create an incredible resume that will really just paint us as the absolute most vivid, perfect picture to a hiring manager. So if anybody has tried this, if you have submitted a resume and had a little bit of help through AI, I just want you to know that there is a better way, and I'm going to teach you how to level that up right now. Because the truth is this, you're not just competing with reps anymore. right? So if we're talking about a rep to rep scenario, if you are going for a representative role, you're not just competing with other reps. You're actually competing with resumes that are now generated to say the very exact same thing, but that's actually not the only way that you're competing with AI. The other way that you're competing with AI is we, like it or not, are coming to rely on AI for delivering the way that we present ourselves and the answers that we give. And so, what I want to share with you today is really something that you may not expect. There was a study that came out recently that might blow your mind here in a few minutes. It's kind of what we all already knew, but now it is in data form. So the very first thing I want to do is introduce myself. If you haven't met me, I'll make it quick. I used to be a recruiter. I went through 5 layoffs in industry myself. And after that, paired with looking at more than 16,000 medical sales resumes and going through all of those fun things, I founded an agency built on the idea that medical salespeople can get whatever they want. They can beat out all of their competition simply by positioning themselves as a product. So now I get to be the CEO of this awesome company. I'm super proud of my team. We've got incredible career consulting, and we also do LinkedIn for you guys too. So we are lobby aligned, recruiter preferred, and that is why I'm here today. But the thing that you probably care most about is that when you approach your job search and your resume this way, you're going to start seeing more interest from companies like these. So we're talking about Foundation and Agendia and Stryker and Zimmer and Genmab and all these wonderful names that you really do have access to should you break away from the pack, who is all writing their resumes by simply prompting them. So let's see if we can kind of break this open. The other thing that everybody really needs to know, and this is something that was announced last week, was that originally we were really encouraged to lead our job search as of 2003, 2004 by really heavily going after job boards. So going to, Indeed and Monster.com and Career Builder. And this summer, these 2 companies who were the super giants in this particular industry are laying off more than 400 people. Now, I could ask you guys why that is. I think you know why. If you have applied to a job through these sites, through LinkedIn in the last 2 years, you know that almost as soon as you apply, there will be 200 and 300 people also applying. And job search has changed so much, but in particular job boards, unless they are very specified and there's a community element, are just broken and they're not working anymore. The exception to this rule is a place like the lobby. The beauty of the lobby is that it is a community-focused job board. I think the lobby is now the largest medical sales job board in the world, which is very exciting. And the reason that it works so well is because you have a community element attached to it. So not only are you finding out about the best opportunities before anybody else, but you are also encouraging the conversations that need to happen to really connect you and get you in the door there. So job boards have changed in significance unless they are specialized like this one, and unless they have a community element. We are relying on AI far too much. And there was a study recently done by MIT. And I think it's a little bit of what we all sort of knew. So, in the chat, tell me if you think that you have become more confident in your messaging and your understanding of your field, maybe through AI. I think that's probably fair. There's a lot of great research on there. But tell me if you also feel that you are able to tell your story better, or if you feel like you may be kind of blending in. Because of what I'm finding and what my clients are finding is that AI written resumes are really making them fade into the vanilla. And the bummer about that is that then you're really not positioning yourself with impact for the roles where patients really need you to be. If everybody is using a prompt and they're tying historical wins to the job description, there's just no way that you're able to differentiate one from another unless we're all just comparing historical wins. So this MIT study came out and they found that actually users who were using Google, right? So for search, they didn't have as much of a change, but those who were using AI for massive searches and using it weekly were also causing their brains to work less. So when we think about AI and we think about the way that we use it, it's a wonderful research tool. But if it becomes the manner with which you write about yourself, or you write that email to a doctor, or you follow up with a hiring manager, you could be in some real trouble because everybody is sounding the same and it comes off disingenuous unless it is heavily, heavily edited. And not to mention, some people might say that when you sell one thing, you can sell anything. Well, I would argue that it's a little bit different in healthcare because there is a different endpoint at the end of your sale. And so, because it is a human life, our physicians, our administrators, our company really expects top-notch critical thinking. And if we begin to outsource that through AI, which has already begun, we literally cause our brain to atrophy. So now that I have scared the pants off of all of you, let's go forward because I don't want you to use convenience and trade convenience for less ability to problem solve, less memory capability, or less creativity. And in fact, if anybody's interested in that study, I have it here. It's from the MIT. The incredible minds over there, and they break it down beautifully. It's sort of something we all know, but now there is real data behind it. And here is really the crux of this entire message. When we use AI to outsource our messaging, it becomes generic and it doesn't achieve our goals. And the thing is that you are not generic, but if you are doing this, using this kind of generic approach, it can make you invisible to the employers who want to hire you. So it is time to beat AI. I want to switch gears here. We're about halfway through because I want you to really understand a strategy that you can implement today so that you'll be able to beat AI written resumes, that your message will be able to be felt and people will start to recognize that you're not just a historical winner, that you have a method that has made you successful all career long, and you're simply excited to bring it to this next company like Hologic or Stryker or Medtronic. So let's go. It's time to beat AI. The first thing that came to mind was that when I have spoken to the majority of my clients, and they're using AI in their resume, I think that AI can be an incredibly powerful research tool. But what happens is occasionally when we start to offload this part of ourselves, the creativity and the action of writing, it actually erodes and it plants a seed of doubt in our mind that we maybe don't have the chops to write this message on our own. We maybe don't know how to put it right when we're speaking with our teams, or we're not really coming across the way that we want in the most professional or friendly manner if we are writing a follow-up to that hiring manager. And while it is helpful to have a leg up, it's more important to step back so that you can really start to understand and learn and train yourself in an EQ fashion so that you can start presenting yourself in that light without relying on a computer. So the first one is believe. I know this sounds a little cheesy, but the truth is when we outsource this part of our activity to AI, especially when it comes to our resume, we almost instantly forget what has made us so special because suddenly we think, a computer can always say it better. And the problem with that is that it erodes the confidence that you have in yourself, and you're trading it for what you think a hiring manager wants to see based on their job description. So if this has ever kind of wormed its way into your mind, put a 2 in the chat for me because I want you to see each other and how this is not something that is just you in a silo. This affects absolutely all of us. Andy, by the way, I love that you're feeling more confident in the general information. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a wonderful research tool. In fact, some of my clients use things like those automatic um, podcast generators to role play conversations between a doctor and the primary salesperson that would be working with them to figure out a patient solution with the product even before the interview. So there are a lot of wonderful applications. But if you have ever felt that seed of doubt, like, you know what, my story's not good enough, I'm not really standing out of two, I want you to know that you too are not alone in this. And I know for myself that this even gets into your mind when you are writing and you're a trained writer, which is why we do not use AI in any of our service. So the first thing is you have to believe you're unique. Let me tell you a story. So last week, I had roughly six interviews with executives who were looking for resume services. And the reason that I do all of the sales calls right now, I do all of the discovery with these potential clients, is because every time I speak with somebody, I get a little bit of a glimpse into how they do things. And you want to know a little secret? It doesn't matter what level they are generally. We work with reps, we work with managers, we work with VPs, executives, C-suite, directors, everything in between. Every single person does business a little bit differently. Yet, almost every person thinks that they don't do it a special way, and this is truly how business is just done. That everybody thinks about it this way, and everybody probably, would consider the things that they're considering when they're taking action. The truth is, we are so close to our own story and our own way of kind of naturally getting in our groove and doing things that we generally don't find what is remarkable about us remarkable. We think it's just business as usual. So, in the end, we really need to remember the way you think, act, the actions you take, the way you consider problems, the way you gather ideas is all truly unique to you. So that's number one. I want you to know that everybody who is here, your way of doing business, believe it or not, even down to the little ways you follow up with an office, is unique to you, and nobody does it the same way. Those six executives I talked to last week, all VPs, all different methods. And you know what? They also thought that they were just doing business as usual. So that's something you need to know right away, is you've got to believe that what you are bringing to the table is not only different, but unique and necessary for a company that needs you. Generally, there is a way of doing business that people love you for. So you just have to remember that. And the second thing is you want to accept the fact that AI written resumes, AI written communication during the job search, and job boards, unless they are specialized and they're having a community element like the lobby, they don't work anymore. So if you're banging your head against the wall because you're just not hearing back over and over again, it's not just you, it's the system. So I'm going to teach you how to go about this a little bit of a different way. Okay, so E of our Beat AI strategy is elevate your method. Do you remember when we were talking about those six executives? So every single one of them had a specific way that they did business that people really loved about them. But what's interesting to me is that when we go into an interview scenario and we're up against maybe 10 different candidates, we all tend to begin by selling ourselves on our resume and in an interview with our historical wins. But the truth is, we didn't just get those historical wins because we fell off a turnip truck and luckily landed into success, right? There's a way that you do business that is compelling and it is unique to you. And that is what you need to elevate. It's the difference between being compared apples to apples with 5 other people who all have P Club, right? Everybody's gotten to President's Club in this group. And so now the hiring manager is left wondering, well, if they're all, relatively bringing the same wins in their bag, who am I going to choose? Well, we are going to make that easy for them by showcasing the method that got you there. And believe me when I tell you that there is one. So if you have a chance, snapshot this, take a screen grab if you're on your phone, I want you to use this Mad Lib. It is what I use with my clients to get to the bottom of what is the overall impact that you make at a company. Many of us kind of get in the weeds of like, I'm doing these actions and those actions, but what we need to do is step out and think high level. So the first step is, who do you help? And be specific here. So maybe you help orthopedic surgeons. Maybe you help dermatologists. Maybe you help primary care physicians in the rural area of XYZ, right? Then I want you to ask yourself, what do you help them achieve? So often we focus on our own achievements, but really people are hiring us not because we have wonderful wins alone in the past. They're hiring us because we can solve their problems right now. So what are some of those problems that you have helped them solve? So that's right here. So what have they achieved? Maybe it's securing the spot as the leading company in dermatology solutions for a certain disease state, right? Maybe it's companies who tend to need a turnaround artist, right? You help them to get stability again or to retain great talent. Whatever it is, what are you helping them achieve instead of just what have you achieved in the past? The next part is by what method? So think about what are some of the things that you are kind of naturally inclined to do. Usually this is a great cross-section of what you enjoy and what people compliment you on. So if you think back and wonder, all right, well, what have people commented and said, hey, we always can count on you for doing this certain thing, or you did a great job doing that, or you always bring these teams together and rally the troops. Whatever that is, that's part of your method. And so think about the compliments you get and the big wins that you tend to get that others don't, and you're going to be hot on the trail of what your method actually sounds like. And then finally, we've got to get specific about who this is for. So when you are applying, this part's really helpful because you can tailor it to the industry that you're going after with this particular resume. Then if you want to change and target a different company, you can change this piece, the in specific arena piece, to the company that you're targeting next. So use this Mad Lib, screenshot it, grab it, copy it, use it. And then for the rest of your resume, I want you to think about what was the impact that you've made, not just the historical results. And if you're feeling like, gosh, Claire, I have so many bullets with all kinds of incredible tasks and activities, I want you to try my two little favorite power words, which are resulting in. So in each bullet point of your resume, add the words resulting in at the end. And if you can answer that sentence by providing the result of whatever that action was, it's going to really help you in developing those metrics that matter to the hiring managers who are considering you. Okay, so that is E. We're going to elevate your method. Before I move on, does anybody have a question? Oh, I see Andy. Andy, me too. I think that a lot of us sort of forget sometimes that what we do so naturally only comes naturally to us because we're naturally great at it. So think about that. What comes easy to you? And sometimes a way I like to think about it, Andy, is that what do you enjoy doing that other people absolutely avoid? Usually that's a pretty good indicator of what you're great at and some of the unique value that you uniquely bring to business. All right, so we're moving on through the BEAT AI framework. The third one is analog. So I know that this is counterintuitive today because we're always trying to do things faster or make sure that the positioning is perfect by running it through an algorithm. We are really outsourcing a lot of the personality, creativity, and specifics that connect us with other people. But I don't have to tell you guys this because you are probably here, you're in sales and medical sales in some form or fashion. It's really not about outsourcing the connection that connects us with our or the messaging that connects us with our clients. So there are some specific ways I would highly, highly recommend that you maintain that analog nature to stand out by using them. The first one is the outreach and the DMs. Now, I get messages probably every hour from somebody who is, really curious about what we do or really wants to get into medical sales, so on and so forth. Um, and the beauty is, we have access to connect with almost anybody that we want when it comes to our career. So the important thing here is that when you do your outreach, you want to lead with the 3 C's. So mention something that you're curious about, something that connects you, or something that you would compliment. And you'll find that your outreach in the DMs are going to suddenly start gaining more traction because you're introducing that human element. So do lean into analog when DMs are concerned. The same thing with thank you notes. And if they're handwritten, I can guarantee you they will be kept longer, read more thoroughly, and remembered potentially forever. I can tell you the certain number of thank you notes I have from clients, and I keep every single one of them on my wall. I can't show you right now, but another time I'll show you. Communication with recruiters is another one too. Please make sure that you are building a genuine relationship with recruiters. A lot of this is, how do you make friends at a barbecue? Use the same kind of rules and make sure that you're investing in people as the wonderful person that you are. Then, if you are going to do AI research on anything, I want to empower you to do the research, but then step away from the research so that you can think about it critically and from a high level. That way, when you are in that hot seat of the interview, you have mentally metabolized what is going on that's important from the research and how that's going to be relevant to the person that you're talking to. And finally, we have talk to more people. Now, I know many of you may have heard me talk a little bit about our 5-5-5 networking strategy. It absolutely is as incredible as the reviews on our site say. I guarantee it. We'll probably do that in a following webinar in the future. But what I can say about it in a nutshell is that more conversations equal more opportunities. And in fact, if you ask almost anybody that you know how they found their favorite job, most of them will say, oh, I found it through so-and-so who recommended me to whoever. Or I used to work with Jerry and he brought me in because he liked it there and then he gave me a call. Working through people is truly the best way to your next opportunity. And places like the lobby make that really, really easy because there's such a bustling community element to the job board and the platform. Also, make sure to schedule those follow-ups. Once you feel like you have maybe run out of people, you've talked to everybody in your network. Remember, everybody's busy and everyone has their own lives, and it's always a great idea to follow up with people on a regular basis so that even those who want to help you more than anybody who might have forgotten what you're looking for a couple weeks ago are reminded and you stay top of mind with them for when those opportunities do come. Okay, this is a quick preview for the 5-5-5. It's just a reminder for everybody. It's reaching out to 5 people you knew, you know, and you want to know. If you guys want to screen cap this, I would love to share a little bit more of a depth of a strategy with you on a future call. But I wanted you to have a glimpse into how the 5-5-5 networking plan works, because once you start talking about yourself in terms of the method you bring on your resume and in your interview, this is also going to carry over to those networking conversations that you really do need to master to find those next opportunities. And you will literally go from a candidate to the one. I've seen it a million times. In fact, we have a rule internally. We call it the 18-day rule, that when you do the TNT networking strategy, the 5-5-5 every single day, about day 18, we start getting messages that say, oh my gosh, you won't believe who knew who, or you won't believe who I reached out to who was willing to help me today. So do invest the time. Networking and getting specific and leading with that human element is a huge, huge win for your career. All right, guys, that's it. I told you there is a lot that we covered. I love cold calls too, Andy. Honestly, that's how I find it's wonderful practice. And when it comes to networking, you can lead with those 3 C's that we talked about. So finding that commonality, finding that compliment that you may like to pay somebody, and then finding the compliment, the compliment, the commonality, and why I'm blanking on the third one, I can't imagine because we just talked about it. But anyway, it'll come to me. But if you do lead with focusing on the other person, it's going to go a long way. Oh, the third one is curiosity. So compliments, commonality, and curiosity are for the win when it comes to networking. Okay, so I'm going to unshare my screen and let me know if you have any questions. I know we burned through a lot of information today. So put them in the comments. I have a few extra minutes here if anybody else does as well to answer those for you. Otherwise, you can always find me on the Lobby Network. You can find me on LinkedIn at Claire M. Davis. And I love hearing what's going on with you guys in the field. Truly, it has been a wild roller coaster of hiring for the last few years. But the beauty is that we have seen a great uptick in hiring, particularly this summer. And so I really hope that that gives you guys a lot of hope. And I can tell you from behind the scenes that if you do leverage the human element more, both in your writing and in the way that you network with people, you are going to find those six-figure jobs that really light you up and in record time. So that's really what we're here for. So if you have any questions, jot them in the chat. I'll kind of wait here and go through. And thank you for being so flexible. We got our tech kind of together earlier. I'm sure as we do more and more of these, we'll get a little bit more comfortable with the live element and certainly with StreamYard. Okay. All right, you guys, with that, I'm going to let this hit the internet. You'll be able to find this recording on YouTube, I believe also maybe over on the Lobby. And then on my page in the events section as well as a recording. So if you have any questions, please don't be a stranger. I love hearing from you every day. We are so honored to be aligned with the Lobby Network. It's something that we're really proud of. And believe me when I tell you that being able to have an incredibly supportive network. It's not something that was here long time ago, but the Lobby Network has been a really particularly impactful place for so many. And you can even get to some of the chapter events that are in person as well. So thrilled to have you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Jennifer, it was a pleasure to see you. Franklin also. Andy, Kenny, thank you for putting this on. And Jeremy, thank you for being so patient as we got the tech up to speed. So thank you guys, and I will be rooting for you out there. Don't be a stranger.